basketball analysis with over 70 years combined experience. This is the Bob Ryan and Jeff Goodman podcast.
NBA, some college, a little bit of everything.
You're listening to the Bob Ryan, Jeff Goodman, Tanguay Along for the Ride podcast, a proud member of the CLNS Media Network. The show is brought to you by Prize Picks, North America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Download today and use code CLNS to get $50 when you play 5. Prize Picks, run your game. Jeff is very busy this week, not able to join us. Nonetheless, Bob will carry the load. And as we go into the future, Bob, I have seen, especially in my business, AI take over the world. I mean, it's just when it comes to writing and creating, and it's here. Now, you see the NBA getting involved with it and have some thoughts.
The NBA has announced a partnership with Amazon Web Services, AWS. Get ready to hear more about this, which, and I will quote, is the official cloud and cloud AI partner of the WNBA, NBA G League, Basketball Africa League, and NBA Take-Two Media. Now, Gary, if you happen to know what Take-Two Media is, you're way ahead at the top of the class, because I never heard of this until I just read this, okay? So I'm going to, among other things, and we'll talk about, in case you were worried that you didn't have enough statistics and analytics and things, that field goal percentage wasn't good enough for you. We're only going to get some new ones. We're going to have expected field goal percentage. I'm not going to go into how you get it because I'm not sure. But, this is going to be the NBA's equivalent to baseball's launch angle, exit velocity, and spin rate. They're trying to infest basketball with this stuff. Now, and stop me, jump in anytime.
Well, hang on, Bob. Did you just say, what did you just say? In fact?
Expected field goal percentage.
Oh, no. But did you say infest?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So this is not good for you.
I don't need it.
I know.
All right, we'll get the summation ultimately. There's going to be you got the defensive box score. Are you ready for this one? AI algorithm will detect which defender is responsible for each offensive player in real time.
Oh, God.
Additional new metrics will include ball pressure, double teams, and defensive switches. Do we need this? Well,
the one thing, do we need it? No. Let me put it this way, Bob. You and I don't need it. My son's generation does. Because, and after teaching at Emerson, I saw this, and this is a problem with the youth of today and the attention span, is they need more than just the game. We just wanted the game.
Absolutely.
Period. They need more than just the game. What is the game in the game? I need 2 screens. I need to watch the game. I need to have my stats. I need to have my fantasy league. I need to have this other distraction or other engagement, if you will. One engagement is not enough. And that's just generational. So the one thing I did find interesting, though, ball pressure to me could be interesting. How they, because a lot of the times, if that's an individual stat or a team stat, I don't know. But we would say like the Michael Coopers of the world.
Yeah.
Like what would that look like for a guy like him? So it gives the defensive player credit. But overall, the stats to me, it's just overwhelming. But it's not for us.
Okay, there's going to be gravity.
What?
Certain players create advantages for teammates simply by being on the court, even without touching the ball. Very noble. It's very noble. I know this one intrigues me. You know who comes to mind right away? Because when I first became aware of his value, it was because of this very thing. And that is Alex Caruso.
Oh,
I think Alex Caruso will be the poster boy, or should be, for this one. Okay? And because he can also shoot threes.
Right.
But when I first became aware of him, it was because of his value far away from the basketball and out of the play. So that intrigues me, I'll be honest. Okay. And then it's going to be, this is going to be for the play-by-play guys and the, oh, no, listen, in theory, get back to me in 2028 or 2030 and see how this is incorporated into broadcasts. Okay. Play Finder. Ready for this? Utilizes AI to analyze and understand player movements across thousands of games. Unquote. You're going to be able to bring, well, this happened in 10 years ago in such a game. This happened. They'll know instantly. Apparently, they'll have access. I'm guessing how they're going to work. Somehow they'll have access to data, analytics, to data that will be comparable to what they're seeing, or they can somehow relate to what they're seeing. It's in theory, that's great. But how much time do you have? But they're talking like this got a great boon for broadcasting. Now I want to hear from broadcasters now about what they think of this.
Well, what's happened, I think, and I thought Mike Gorman was ahead of his time in this regard, is now if you watch an NBA game, and this has kind of been reinforced with the Manning cast on the NFL, there's so much information that's already available on the screen or through your phone about the team that you don't have to talk about that information every time that player's on the field. For example, in baseball, when I was watching baseball when I was 6 years old or 7 years old, and Rico Petrocelli would come to the plate, on TV 38 or Channel 5 out of Bangor, you would have just like batting average, RBI, right? And that was it.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't have the stat for the last 5 games. You wouldn't have his stats for that game. So the announcer could say, well, Rico is like 7 for 14, in his last 3 games, or, at night, Rico's hitting much better, or what have you. That stuff now is just all available it's just all available. So the announcers don't really have to go. So the announcers become like hosts, storytellers. So it sounds like this information is giving them even more to discuss. So they can take, for example, what you just talked about, and instead of just reading the stat, they can talk about it. So it's almost now television play-by-play has almost become a talk show while you're watching the game. Because and Mike was very good at this. He would set Tommy up to talk about what we were watching, because everybody, like, especially in the NBA, when you watch a game, even a casual fan, they know who's on the floor, right? Like, unless you get some guy coming off the bench, eighth or ninth guy, you don't really have to identify him. So this is just giving more information and more minutia, if you will, to the game. And, some of it's interesting. It really comes down to how the play-by-play and color guys will handle it. Like, how do you take that information, apply it to what you're seeing? So it's actually more work for the announcers. Like even like the Manning cast is great because they will talk about their personal experiences. They will tell stories and so forth. I could see a guy like Tirico really, really thriving with this information, because I think Tirico's very good at complementing the game. Like, I think Al Michaels was always a great play-by-play caller, right? Like, do you believe in miracles?
Yes.
Come on, right? So I also thought Dick Stockton was a great play-by-play caller, the 75 series and thousands of NBA games. I think Mike Tirico is a terrific host where he could take this information and complement it to the broadcast. That's what I see.
Okay.
But you're right. Some of it, you got to go through the weeds, like what's important, what's not. Like the defensive pressure one, I kind of like that. Or, some of the stats you'll see and you go, well, that has nothing to do with where I'm watching. And then you'll go, some of it will, if you kept stats on Michael Cooper and Larry Bird, I don't know if they did, but if you had if you had a defensive pressure stat from Michael Cooper, that would be fascinating.
Yeah. Well,
That would be, or Jordan for that matter.
right now people are able to. I believe it's out there how many points a guy scored on whom that was guarding him. So if
Correct.
three different guys are guarding a guy at night, they already can do this. I believe.
They can. They can. It's like opponent's batting average.
Yeah, okay, they can do
Yeah,
that.
it's like but then they can go
So
even further.
this is an expansion, obviously, of that. I'm just saying, well, you're right. It's a different generation. I don't know
Different generation.
what they expect. How it enhances. The
Well,
NBA,
here's the thing,
and they
Bob.
are definitely hip to both leagues, and particularly forget football for a minute, because we all know that just that'll never die due to gambling. But the other two, um, the younger generation has aspects of their fandom that transcend the simple the simple ABCs that we knew. So
Correct.
and
But here's the
they
problem.
appeal to them. And the NBA, what I'm trying to say is these leagues are definitely aware that they have an ongoing an evolution of people that are watching them, and the demographics are going to skew younger, right now,
Right.
skew younger, and this is the generation that they're going to be dealing with to come. So, and while we fade off into the sunset,
And that's okay.
seriously. And
But here's the thing. But also, Bob, let's talk about management. And this is the part that is disappointing. And I don't know if you ever saw the movie The Scout with Clint Eastwood.
I wish I had. I was aware of it, and I would see it, and never did.
It's okay. It's pretty good, but it's not his best. It's a little simple, but you should watch it at some point. But I'll basically tell you that what happens, right? So Clint is this old time scout. He's out, and they're fading him out. So he's being replaced by the sabermetricians. Right.
Yep.
So the whole point of the movie is basically you still need both, because what happens at the end is all the guys in the big league front office are saying Clint doesn't know what he's talking about. The numbers say one thing. So they take this prospect, they bring him up, and of course Clint finds a kid who's a groundskeeper who just happens to be able to throw 100-mile-an-hour fastball, right?
Yeah.
So the kid goes against the top prospect. So then Clint, what the numbers didn't show, and this is oversimplistic, is the top prospect couldn't hit a curveball.
No.
He could hit which is really oversimplifying it.
Well,
But the point of it was you still need to watch something. So this is the concern was, all of these numbers, and in all aspects of sports, all of the GMs are looking at the numbers. And I don't have the answer to this, but when do the numbers tell the complete story? You still got to watch the player.
I believe that, right. That's an ongoing dispute in baseball. Absolutely ongoing. So yeah, no question. And go back to Moneyball. That was an issue in Moneyball. And
Totally. And the thing I love about Moneyball is Scott Hatteberg. They talked about the success of the Oakland A's, and Scott Hatteberg was the star of the show. Not the pitchers, not Mulder and Zito. No, not the top three pitchers they had in the rotation. They mentioned them once. It's all because of Scott Hatteberg and the sabermetrics.
Yeah.
Which I love. But I mean, that's the thing, Bob, is I think what you're saying is it's the front offices. I mean, look, kids are gonna do what they're gonna do, right? They're gonna every generation is gonna be different. But now the front offices, are they just sitting in front of computers making decisions?
I mean, some are more than others. There may be some out there that are like 90%. There may be some that are 50%.
Right.
That would be ideal. I would champion a 50-50. You don't want to ignore this opportunity you have to get this data, but it's still a people game. There's no way any analytic, anything can tell you what that guy's made of. You have to see him and her now. WNBA is part of this. You have to see her and him and up front close and personal. See how they react to situations, to see how they act with their teammates, to see how they react to a referee's call. it's still people that play the damn game.
50-50 is the way to go.
As long as you keep, you're just asking these people to keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. And
All right, we'll get back to Bob in just a minute. Prize Picks is the best place to turn sports knowledge into cash. With millions of members, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least two players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash on your game all season long on Prize Picks. And Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. They offer Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account this sports season. Every Tuesday, Prize Picks will discount several projections on the board, usually by 15 to 25%. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play 5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Okay. Prize Picks is the best way to win real money this season, whether it's baseball, playoffs left, or football season, or the upcoming NBA and NHL season. Which players are going to go off? Which ones aren't? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds to turn your sports takes into real money all season long with Prize Picks. So, how about Jake Ferguson, tight end? More or less, 5 receptions this weekend? What do you think? Or Jalen Hurts, 2 or more touchdown passes? Quarterback Jalen Hurts? All right, you make your pick with Prize Picks. Download the app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 after you play your first $5 lineup. $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. Back to my other passion. There's an AI actress now.
really,
I'm not kidding. If you Google it, and people are coming out saying, "Whoa!" I mean, she's computer generated, and she's like auditioning and all this stuff, and everybody's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!"
oh yeah.
So look, just because we have the technology doesn't mean we need to use it. Unfortunately, sometimes it's a financial decision. But you're right, and I think Theo Epstein. You tell me.
Yeah.
I think Theo kind of got a bad rap. Wasn't he 50-50 numbers?
That easily.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no way he was. Oh no way he was. And I'd love to hear him on this. Yeah.
I know. I mean, he was 50-50.
Yeah.
I remember a
But here's
Bob.
comment, folks, and get ready if you care. You can ignore it. That's your choice. If you want to just shut it all off and just watch people run around and shoot the way you have your whole life, fine. And I'm not being condescending here. I'm saying, yeah,
Right.
you don't need all this to enjoy the game.
Oh God, no.
But
Well, no.
no.
But
I will say categorically, I'm happy I worked in the day-to-day when I did. That's the next generation is going to have an interesting, process of how they cover games. So we'll see how they react to all this. And but it's here. It ain't going away. And the NBA is really committed to this. And so, here we go.
I remember a Bob Ryan press conference with Theo Epstein. You may not remember this.
Oh, I know the one you're going for.
It was on the telephone.
Yes.
And I can't remember the topic, but Greg Dickerson and I were listening at Comcast Sportsnet, and Theo gave some bullshit answer, and then Bob Ryan came on and said, "Come on, well, Theo, what are we doing here?"
The uproar, it's interesting. It sounded to some people, subordinate. I mean, so if we did this in person, it would have gone over better.
Oh, Bob, but you said it. Everybody was thinking it. What you took grief for that?
Yeah. So.
Oh God, I don't remember.
Oh well, I remember that was the one where I asked him, "What's the deal with John Drew and
JD Drew?
JD Drew. What's the difference?" Yeah. So I asked him that, and that was I was in there. He sent me. I have it. He sent me a wonderful handwritten, printed letter telling me all about Mr. Drew and who he was and his background and all that. And yeah, he sent it to me. I have it. So That was Theo. You gotta love Theo.
Yeah, you do. But
Yeah, you're right. I remember that day.
we love you, Bob. So I love.
That's
You want to go see a game? Game Time's the way to do it. It's just on your phone. You have the Game Time app. It's just a big G. You can't miss it. And you just log on. And I have everything set up for myself. So it knows the area I'm in. It knows what I want to see. What's going on with BC football? How are the tickets looking this weekend? Or maybe Harvard or the Patriots. If the Patriots are home this weekend, I can go to see on what's going there. Or if I happen to be traveling, say I'm going to Los Angeles or the Rams in town or something along those lines. So the Game Time app is great for you to get the best tickets and also look for a great price as well. Plus, they have all kinds of cool things like, they do comedy too and other shows. And so if you want to get a little culture and not just your sports, they have zone deals. So you save even more when you choose a section and you let Game Time choose the seats. So you may want to go to a Patriots game and you go, all right, listen, here's the section. You guys pick the seats and you save some money, right? You can snag new ticket deals before anyone finds out by following your favorite teams in the Game Time app to receive alerts. Also, Seat View. When you buy the tickets, before you buy the tickets, you get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy. Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. That is the lowest price guarantee. And your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. So take the guesswork out of buying your sports tickets or college football tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code CLNS for $20 off your purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today.
Let's talk about real basketball people.
Go ahead, kid.
Well, the Golden State Warriors soap opera all offseason was a 22-year-old player of some consequence, Jonathan Kuminga, and his new contract. I never quite understood his viewpoint, but anyway, they finally signed him.
Right.
I don't know the numbers. We can look it up. It's easy out there. They finally signed him, and this meant that they could now commit to signing two free agents, DeAnthony Melton, and about whom I know very little. In fact, I'll be honest, nothing. And Al Horford, about whom we know a lot. And Al is now an official Golden State Warrior. And I'm going to miss him. We're all going to miss him. Al Horford was an integral part of the deal here 2 times.
Oh, yeah.
I loved the idea that we got him back. But, but Al was here, and then he went away to Philadelphia. That hurt, But they shipped him off to Charlotte, and they shut him down completely near the end of the season to play younger players. Just completely shut him down. Well, he re-signed here, and guess what? He's got another ring. And he was, I call him Uncle Al, but Al was the ultimate positive locker room presence. He was the ultimate surrogate coach on the floor, the ultimate big brother to the youngins. Invaluable. His service here was tremendous, and he loved Boston. He embraced the town. He had a good time here, but he may still be here if Jason Tatum hadn't gotten hurt. But
he might be, and
he's looking out for number one, and he's looking out.
Yeah, of course. Maybe he comes back as a coach.
So fine, he's in Golden State, whose 3 primary players that he will join are 35-year-old Draymond Green, 36-year-old Jimmy Butler, and 37-year-old Steph Curry. He, of course, is 39. In addition, they have 32-year-old Gary Payton and 32-year-old Buddy Hield. I never realized he was that old. His career's kind of slid right by. So we've already in this forum, and I'm sure many others have, had fun talking about the Clippers as the AARP All-Stars, right? And the Clippers will go to battle, I don't want to do that, with 37-year-old Brook Lopez, 36-year-old James Harden, and 36-year-old Nicholas Batum, 33-year-old Bogdan Bogdanovic, and 32-year-old Bradley Beal. Oh, did I mention 40-year-old Chris Paul? So, and so the West Coast, folks, is where the erstwhile retirement home of the NBA.
I know, the West Coast retirement home.
What do we make of the Warriors as constituted?
I think they could be dangerous in the postseason, but they're obviously going to have to monitor their minutes. It's a situation where you want to get into the playoffs, and if they get hot at the right time, but as far as having the stamina, yeah, I mean, you're not going to go wire to wire with that team.
Well, we'll see. I remember one of the regular big men on this team is Boston College's Quentin Post. So I just reminded that. So I keep my eye on that team anyway. He's 25, by the way.
Well, I mean, Bob, we all know that the league is down. I mean, when it comes to, it just is. It's in my opinion, when it comes to talent, I don't know if it's down, but it's very spread out. There's a lot of parity, right? Yeah. So, especially with Tatum being hurt, if Golden State gets at the finals with that crew, they could win it. I mean, they could beat OKC in a series. Of course they could, depending on what happens. But, well, of course, I mean, if they finish in the top four, I'll be surprised.
I realize that what I'm about to say could be applied to every team in every sport. They got to stay healthy,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And the key, but when you're dealing with, primary 35, 36, 37, and 39, you're rolling the dice, really.
Oh, big time. I mean, and you get, load management.
Oh, God. So now remember, the Celtics did not play Al back-to-backs last year.
Right.
And Kerr hasn't yet had to make made any public statement about that. Right. We'll have to confront that, and we'll be interested to see how they play it. But so there you go. And by the way,
I've seen it before, Bob. I mean, look, you get into the playoffs, Al Horford plays one game, makes 2-3 plays, and you win it. That's what he does, right?
They've got now two guys that are queens on the chessboard in a sense of absolute versatility and intelligence, savvy. Going to be interesting. And I'm talking about Green, who with all his temperamental nature, is a very smart basketball player. And Al, and it's interesting to see how they adapt, how Al fits in, and how Al is able to help the others. And I'm sure he will and can, on the floor as well as off. So it'll be interesting. But from what I read already, one story, Green is over the top getting Al on his team. Green is really excited.
There you go. So, good. Yeah, that's where we're at. I'm fascinated to see how the Lakers do.
Oh, me too.
With the new look, with his new in shape, new routine.
Oh, I mean, Luka, absolutely. And LeBron as a number 2, and well, he's got the skills to do whatever he wants. We know that.
Well, yeah.
Such as they are at age 40, but he's still. Oh no, you're absolutely right. All eyes are going to be on the Lakers.
That's the one to watch. And I got to be on. And Celtic fans will let me have it. I hope they're good. I hope they're in it.
Well, speaking of hoping they're in it, because it's always interesting when they are, there's the team in New York City.
Yes, sir.
In Manhattan. And this week, Mike Brown came out and said categorically he will not be repeating Mike Tibbs's,
right.
Tom Thibodeau's policy of playing veterans extensively. And he was criticized heavily in some circles for, playing too many minutes as starters and not using his bench. And a lot of people saying, well, look at the bench. Well, it wasn't that bad. Well, it's even better now. So I think so. We'll see about that. But that's the thing to watch. And the other thing is will Mike Brown try to alter Jaylen Brown's game to a degree and eliminate the total, not, the overdone ball dominance that he has. He's
right.
got to give it up more. And we'll see how that works. We'll keep our eye on that. So, but frankly, the Knicks personnel, they now have no excuses. They have no excuses. Once again, yeah, they got to stay healthy. And I'll say right now, the great X factor is Mitchell Robinson. when Mitchell Robinson's in the lineup with Karl Anthony Towns, they're trouble. He is an elite offensive rebounder. There aren't many better in the league, and he gives you a rim protection. He's very fragile. We know that. The big problem is how much can you depend on Mitchell Robinson?
Well, it's wide open, man. East is wide open.
But they, to me, ought to be the nominal favorite on paper.
Well, this is what I'm hoping for because I'm a huge Brunson fan. I feel bad for Tibbs. I'm a Tibbs guy, but what are you going to do? From an NBA perspective, since the Celtics aren't in it, I would love to see a Knicks-Lakers final.
Oh, I know what you mean. And the league
would
would
happen.
And the league would too. But I think there's a lot more chance of the Knicks and the Lakers on paper right now. But till we see how the Lakers adjust to their new circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, if OKC's healthy, they're probably back in it.
But the league, the league is better, folks. They don't like to hear it in Boston. We know that. But the league is better when New York's good, and they're better when LA's good. And it turns out historically they're better when Boston's good. But the Knicks, we're now 52 years and counting since the last Knicks championship.
Wow. Yeah, that's
and they've only won 2 historically in the history of the league.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, the Lakers and Celtics are they've won 38% of the championships, something like that, since 1947. So now, before we close, I want to have a belated acknowledgement. R.I.P. It was the week before this of Charley Rosen. Now, the name may not mean anything to many people, but he was an interesting figure in the basketball community. He's best known for being Phil Jackson's alter ego. They were absolutely, totally wedded and best friends and tied at the hip guys. He was absolutely his biggest spokesperson, a defender, aide, everything. But he was a lot more, an incredible resume. Started playing at Hunter College. He was a good Division II at that time, whatever division was, bad ball player. And he basically spent his entire career bouncing back. And he was in 4 different teams in various incarnations of what is now the G League, but has been, the CBA and the blah, blah, blah. Coached the Albany Patroons, as did Phil Jackson, as did George Karl, as did I don't want to misspeak, but everybody knew him. More important, he wrote around 30 books on basketball. He was a very scholarly fellow, and some really, really good books, I'm telling you, and including books on 2 different books exploring the 1951 basketball scandals, which people, if they claim to be basketball interested people, should read up on. They should know about that one in particular. And the game fixing in the early 50s, he wrote a story about Jack Molinas. Now, the name Jack Molinas, that's Molinas, has faded away, but I grew up with it. Literally, I got a personal story about Jack Molinas and my father, but the point is, he was an All-American player at Columbia who was, if he was not Rookie of the Year, he made All-Rookie for 1 year for the Fort Wayne Pistons. And then he I don't know, no longer. And he was a guy, I read about him and it was fascinating. He was pathological deviant, if you will. And he was a fixer, and he was involved in fixing college basketball games. Yeah. Extraordinary. And so Charley Rosen wrote, he was the authority on Jack Molinas. I recommend these books to anybody that just go up Charley Rosen, Jack Molinas. I'm sure you'll find something. So, but anyway, Charley Rosen was 84. He lived a rather full life, and a lot of people in basketball will acknowledge that he had a role.
Quick note: I did see Phil Jackson coach the Albany Patroons in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And you know who was coaching the Grand Rapids Hoops?
Oh boy, no.
Cassie Russell.
Oh, no kidding.
Cassie Russell.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
This was a long time ago. This is when I was doing radio on the weekends, and I was a traveling salesman during the week, and I was in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
I've been there. I went to a baseball game there.
Grand Rapids is great.
I went to
Amway Hotel.
and ran rabbits. So, all right, there you go.
Good job, Bob. We'll talk to you again. Next time I talk to Bob, he's going to do a little Red Sox because he's a huge Sox fan. We'll touch on the Sox this year next time we hear from Bob. Okay, Bob Ryan, Gary Tanguay checking out here. Jeff Goodman will be back with us next week. And we are brought to you by Prize Picks, North America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Download today. Use code CLNS to get $50 when you play 5. Prize Picks, run your game. Bob, see you next time.